Welcome to Wanderlust and Wishes, the podcast where we explore the world one destination at a time.
I'm Julie.
And I'm Crystal.
As travel agents with fantastical vacations, we are here to share our passion for travel and help you turn your wanderlust into reality.
From hidden gems to bucket list adventures, join us as we dive into the sights, sounds, and stories of our favorite destinations.
So grab your passport, pack your bags, and let's embark on this journey together.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to episode 90 of Wanderlust and Wishes. Today, we're going to throw in a little Valentine's Day love and talk about top spots for couples trips. But first, Crystal has a little fun trip coming up, and we've been a little sneaky about mentioning it because we're trying to keep it on the DL, but we're going to talk about it this week.
Yes. So if you listen to our plans for the year episode, I briefly mentioned that we are trying to get a certain cruise on the Disney Fantasy, and we're going to take Calder on a little one-on-one for his 10th birthday. We didn't get the one that I talked about. We got the one a week earlier, so that's this week, but it's working out. So if anybody knows him or sees him from the time this episode comes out until Saturday, please do not mention this. We told all the kids we're doing this special 10-year trip, and we asked if he wanted to help plan, and he said, no, I want to be surprised. So we have been very tight-lipped and even just very last minute. Do as we say, not as we do. I booked this like 2 weeks ago on a guaranteed rate with restrictions. So it was like final payment, no changes, like locked in immediately. So we are leaving Sunday, the 15th, 5-night on the Fantasy. It's a Pixar day at sea. We are stopping at Lighthouse Point and at Nassau. And it's both my husband and Calder's first time cruising. So there's not a lot to like pre-trip say, but follow along and hopefully I have lots to post.
I'm really excited to hear about how it goes, and especially the Pixar Day at Sea. That just sounds so incredibly fun to me. As everybody knows, I'm already scheming trying to get my next cruise booked, so I'm going to be living vicariously through Crystal as she's posting things and when she comes back and we talk about it.
Since we were within 30 days, there was not much left activities-wise, so I don't have any reservations for like the Hey Howdy Hey breakfast or the Incredibles. I did snag a meet and greet with Rex. I'm going to try when we get on to see if I can't get anything else. Stay tuned. But I guess if we wanted to talk more about guaranteed rates at some point, I've learned a lot
about how those work.
Trial and error here. So yeah, follow along. Hopefully I can post a lot. Don't know what we're doing with the Wi-Fi situation yet, but hopefully it's more than 32 degrees and we'll be peachy.
Right. With all of the winter weather. It's like, as long as it's not like freezing outside, everybody's going to be happy. And you're going to be out on the ocean and you're going to be on a Disney cruise in general. So it's just going to be fun times.
Yeah. So we figured that's why we did the rate. As long as we're on the ship, we're good.
Okay. So exciting times. Can't wait to hear. And when we jump into our topic, I think in general, when you talk about couples trips, a lot of times we all think about either a honeymoon or like ultra romantic trip to Paris or something like that, you know?
Oh, yes. And while both of those are good and great, they're not the only options, and they're not always the best option.
As I mentioned, we're going to talk about top spots for couples travel, but with a little bit of a twist.
So some of these destinations could be romantic, but some of them could be easy to enjoy together, and most importantly, actually easy to plan and book.
Just because when you're going, honestly, like any vacation, but especially when you're going on a couples vacation, you don't want to have to make all these decisions.
No, the fewer the better.
Yeah. So before we start talking about specific destinations, let's talk about why certain places work better for couples than others.
For us, the best couple destinations have a handful of things in common.
So, going back to not having to make all these decisions. So first thing is built-in experiences. So you don't have to plan out every minute. It makes it so much easier.
Think of destinations that already offer dining, excursions, wellness, or guided experiences that make it easier to stay present with each other.
And then secondly, you obviously want to have the romantic atmosphere, but you also don't want it to be trying too hard. You don't want it to be forced. You don't want it to be cheesy. You just want it to be really naturally good vibes with like that romantic undertone.
So think beautiful scenery, obviously good food, and then spaces that are designed for adults to just kind of hang out and slow down and enjoy yourselves.
Third, think easy logistics. So transfers that are super easy and that aren't like overly complicated, resorts or tours that handle all the details for you so that you have less stress.
Because nothing kills romance faster than spending your entire trip figuring things out. Does anybody else have the argument of where are we eating for dinner? Complete and total nightmare because no one wants to make a decision.
Yeah, I think we've all struggled with that. Last but not least, you want flexibility.
Because not every couple's trip is a honeymoon.
Yeah, some of it is about an anniversary. Some of it's just, wanting a kid-free escape and in general, just really just wanting to get away from the chaos of life.
So let's talk about all-inclusive couple favorites, starting with Cabo San Lucas. So Cabo is kind of a under the radar, but very popular couple destination, and for good reason.
Yeah, it blends luxury and activity really, really well.
You've got adult-focused resorts, high-end spas, strong culinary scene, and dramatic desert meets ocean scenery.
It feels romantic without being super sleepy about it.
Cabo is ideal for the couples who may want relaxation, but also want options like boating, dining out, or exploring nearby towns.
And then just a pro tip here, it really matters where you stay in Cabo. It can change the vibe of the entire trip.
Yeah, not all the beaches in Cabo are swimmable. The corridor offers quieter, resort focused stays, while Medano Beach, closer to town, is more energetic. Adults only versus adult focused also makes a big difference.
Absolutely. So, next, moving on to St. Lucia. If Cabo equals energetic romance, then St. Lucia is iconic romance.
This is the destination people picture when they think honeymoons.
Yeah. The pitons, the views, the boutique style resorts, and an added emphasis on privacy just make this phenomenal.
While St. Lucia is ideal for honeymoons, it's also great for milestone anniversaries and couples who want scenery, quiet, and connection.
Yeah, this one kind of in contrast to what we talked about with Cabo, having lots of options or lots of, if you want to fill it up with activities, St. Lucia is not a destination where you want to pack your days full. So, pro tip for St. Lucia is that some of the transfer times can be long. So, resort location is really important. It matters here more than some of the other Caribbean destinations.
Choosing the right resort area can be the difference between feeling relaxed and feeling exhausted. And it could make or break your budget if you want, like, a helicopter transfer. Another great option, somewhere John and I went last year, is the Dominican Republic. It does not always get enough credit for couples travel.
It definitely should, especially for the adults only or adults focused all inclusive resorts.
This is a destination that works well for couples who want strong value, beautiful properties, and an easy travel day. The beaches here, they're beautiful.
One of the great things about the Dominican is you can often get larger rooms, more dining options, and higher end amenities without the crazy high end luxury pricing.
And pro tip for the Dominican Republic, there is a big difference between fully adults only resorts and adults only sections within larger resorts. Shameless plug. We know these kind of things, so it often helps to have a little extra help in this area.
Absolutely. So basically, matching up that resort to the couple matters just as much as the destination.
All right, let's move back to Mexico. One thing we always tell couples is that Mexico is not one experience, and there's more to Mexico than just what you hear about on the news.
Absolutely. There is Riviera Maya, there's Playa Mujeres and Cancun, but they all have a different feel to them. So it's really important that you understand that.
This area of Mexico works well for couples because flights are often super easy, resorts are designed with romance in mind, and it's easy to unplug.
And, again, resort selection is everything. There are literally hundreds of resorts in this area, and you can pick the wrong one if you don't know what you're doing.
So this is also, again, shameless plug. This is why working with someone who understands the differences truly matters. If you want a great beach, if you'd rather have a great pool, if you're a foodie, or if you're in for wellness, is it adults only? Is it family focused? These are all things that we kind of go through when picking a resort.
And Mexico specifically, like the seaweed, some people could care less about it because they're not going to go out on the ocean or they don't want to go in the water. It doesn't matter whatsoever. But if you want to go out in the ocean, it's a really big deal. That's just one specific thing, but it does make a big difference and it can ruin your trip if you don't have the right one. Okay, let's talk about Hawaii.
Although Hawaii isn't all inclusive, it still is one of the strongest couple destinations out there.
I just think Hawaii is iconic. It is for couples who want romance paired with shared experiences, the culture, just everything about it is amazing.
And I love that each island offers something a little bit different. Whether you're there to explore, whether you're there to relax, there's a little something for everybody.
Maui is the classic romantic choice. It's known for its beaches, sunsets, and scenic drives.
Kauai is quieter and more nature focused, ideal for couples who want hiking, maybe a little bit of a slower pace.
And then the Big Island offers the most variety from beaches to volcanoes to adventure activities.
Pro tip here, island choice matters more than hotel brand, especially in Hawaii, depending on what kind of vacation you want. It could change everything.
In addition to that, deciding whether you want to stay on just one of the islands or if you want to island hop and split your stay, that can dramatically impact the pace of your trip. And if whether you're spending time transferring and traveling, that kind of thing, you have to build that in.
All right, let's hop the pond here and go to Europe. Europe is romantic, but it can also be very overwhelming to plan.
Absolutely. This is where having an escorted or small group tour can be just absolutely awesome. They are often overlooked by couples.
These are not the group tours that you may be familiar with from 20 years ago. Today, they are designed for comfort, pacing, and curated experiences, often like private experiences.
Yes, like getting you into something that you would never be able to do if you were just there and, trying to plan your own thing. Italy is especially well suited for this type of travel.
You still get the food, the wine, the culture, the iconic sites, all without managing transportation, logistics. You don't have to drag your bag around.
Yeah, you just show up and have a good time.
That's what I want.
This works extremely well for first-time European travelers or couples that just want some additional depth without having the exhaustion of having to plan everything and deal with doing all of the logistics. Okay, so Portugal is another kind of sleeper destination for couples that want to go to Europe.
It's romantic, it's relaxed, it's often more affordable than other Western European countries.
Even with the being more affordable, it still has incredible food, gorgeous coastal scenery, historic cities, and just in general, a slower pace.
And I love that Portugal can work well as a guided tour or as a semi-guided trip to kind of fit your preference better.
Yeah. You get that European feel and you kind of fill your cup with that without having the chaos that can come from some of the other areas of Europe.
If you don't have a passport, let's talk about some kind of standout United States couples destinations that are popular.
Charleston, which you guys know we both love, it's near and dear to our hearts. It consistently ranks high for couples.
You have that historic charm, the walkability, the huge food scene, and a little bit of a slower pace.
So it's romantic without trying too hard. And if you would like more information on Charleston, we actually did an episode recently, episode 82. It does focus on Charleston overall, but if you're just trying to get a good idea of the vibe, this would be a great episode for you to go back and listen to. Okay, so second on the list within the United States is Napa Valley. Napa Valley is a true classic for good reason.
You have wine tastings, you have scenic landscapes, excellent dining, boutique hotels. It's got all the things.
It's best for couples who want some indulgence with a slower pace.
Pro tip, reservations matter a lot here, especially during peak seasons. So do not overlook that, the dates, all the things, if you are going to Napa. Now we're going to go a little bit closer to my hometown stomping grounds. Down the road is Sedona, Arizona. And Sedona offers a very different kind of romance.
You have the beautiful red rock scenery. It's a huge spot for wellness resorts, also hiking and just reflective experiences.
It's ideal for the couples who may want quiet, nature, and restoration.
And I know this is so funny, but it just cracks me up every time I think about, which this is actually based in Phoenix, but same like concept where the movie Noelle and her brother is supposed to be, take the role of Santa Claus, and he wants to be a yoga instructor, and so he decides to go to Arizona. So it just it's just in line with the whole vibe of the area. Okay, so moving into just some quick honorable mentions.
Down the road from Charleston is Savannah, Georgia for the charm and walkability.
Moving back over to Arizona again, Scottsdale, it is very well known for spa-focused couple escapes.
And if you're looking for more of an advanced European experience, the Amalfi Coast is great for couples ready for adventure.
I actually planned a trip for a couple this past summer, and they went to the Amalfi Coast, and the pictures they sent me were just like out of a travel magazine. They're so gorgeous. And then last but not least on this list is Alaska, especially for cruising. Couples who want the scenery and a little bit of adventure thrown in there, these are fantastic.
Speaking of cruising, we have to mention cruising.
We actually have an entire episode planned for cruising as adults. So stay tuned for that coming up next week.
Cruises work well for couples who want multiple destinations with minimal effort and planning.
Caribbean cruises are fantastic for relaxation.
And then you have Mediterranean cruises for culture.
And then river cruises in general for intimacy and slower travel.
So just some tips on how to avoid the generic everyday couple trip. First is you need to think a little bit differently going into it.
Instead of thinking, where should we go? So picking a spot first, ask what you want out of the trip. How do you want it to make you feel?
Then maybe ask, how busy do we want to be? How much planning do we want to do?
Obviously, the destination matters, but the fit is more important.
That's why working with a travel advisor can change everything.
So if you're listening to this and you're thinking, okay, all of this sounds fantastic, but I still don't really know what the right fit is for us, and you're a little bit overwhelmed with it, you're not alone. We totally get it.
That's why we created a little couples travel quiz for you all.
We're going to link it in the show notes. It's going to help you narrow down the kind of trip that actually matches with your energy, your lifestyle, and just how much planning you want to do.
And from there, we can help you turn that into a real bookable trip.
Because as we've kind of alluded to, like the best couples trip is not always the most romantic place on Instagram. Like it's not necessarily about like the social media, like what everybody says should be in it, the romantic trip.
It's more about the place where you can actually enjoy each other.
So if you're planning a honeymoon, an anniversary trip, your kid-free getaway, or your just because trip,
you know that we are here because we always love to help you, and we would love to help you find the destination that fits your couple style best.
because as always, we want to make sure that your trip is not stressful. So romance shouldn't be about being stressed. It should be about relaxing and having fun or whatever it is that you want out of that trip. So we hope that this has been helpful to you all. We would love to hear from you on if you have taken your own, couples trip and there's maybe a destination that we didn't mention that you feel like should be on the list. Let us know. Reach out, send us a DM. We would love to hear from you. There's obviously tons of options out there. And this kind of just scraped the surface of it. We appreciate everyone listening, and we will chat with you all next week. Bye.
Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Wanderlust and Wishes.
If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to subscribe and leave us a review on your favorite podcast platform.
And remember, the world is full of wonders waiting to be explored. Until next time, happy travels.
Bye for now.